Basketball game. MIAA opener for both teams. The Scots of Alma against the Knights of Kelvin. And Jason, I think you've talked to Coach Saul a little bit throughout the day. You've got a little bit of a preview on what lies ahead for keys to the game.
Yeah, great to be here, Jeff, with you here on the broadcast. Great to be back here in Van Noord Arena. Caught up with Coach Saul earlier today. Had some keys to the game. He wants his team to minimize the mistakes today. No big turnovers. Take care of the ball. Every possession counts. Defensive assignments, can't have any missed assignments there. But overall, just wants them to play hard, show that effort that they've shown early on in games, and continue that out throughout the entire contest today. 8-3 non-conference record leading into MIAA play today. 2-2 over the break. Not the tournament or the last two games that they wanted to have in those two tournaments that they went to, or I guess you'd call them showcases.
Yep.
But nonetheless, a good start to the season. Ready for MIAA play.
Well, one thing about this Knights team, they have been very good at home, 5-0 at home this year, and glad to be home at Van Noord Arena. But as you mentioned, Jason, had some road trips right before Christmas and right after. Went over to the Wisconsin Dells right before Christmas and got upset, if you will, by Augustana, a team that was unranked but very scrappy, and kind of ran the Knights around the perimeter and knocked down a bunch of threes, came from behind and defeated Kelvin. And then the Knights came back to win the consolation game of that situation there, defeating Concordia of Wisconsin. Then right after Christmas, went down to Alliance, Ohio, campus of the University of Mount Union, defeated Wilmington in the opener, and then in a matchup of nationally ranked teams just over a week ago, Mount Union, who was ranked 9th at the time, defeated Kelvin's then 8th ranked Knights 78-72. Kelvin has since dropped to number 16 in the poll, but I think the polls are probably the last thing on Coach Saul's mind, right, Jason? Just talking about, like you said, playing more consistently and starting off the league with a W.
Yeah, definitely a battle down in Ohio against Mount Union. That was a great game to watch, to follow here at home. I believe the Knights were up at half and just couldn't muster enough. They went on a few runs there, trying to just limit those runs from the opposition here by sticking to our assignments here today. Not sure really what Alma's going to come out in. They've shown some different looks defensively. Triangle and two is one of those, so we'll see if they've identified two of our guys that are a huge threat and want to show maybe a different defensive scheme here early on, or if they stick to more of a man concept throughout the game.
Yeah, you got Jalen Overway in the post for the Knights, and Mount Union last week decided to just go one-on-one, just a single man on Jalen, and defended the perimeter. And it kind of threw Kelvin a little bit of a monkey wrench. Kelvin's been used to the double team on Jalen inside and then moving the ball around the perimeter, or facing a lot of zone defensive looks, trying to, bottle up the inside, have been the opponent's defenses. One thing I think Kelvin will have to do, though, is continue to show that they can knock down that three-point shot. If they can do that, it really opens the offense, especially with a big guy like Jalen underneath.
And I think that's what Mount Union dared them to do, is knock down that outside three-point shot. Credit to Jalen Overway, when they do crash down on him, he has great vision for a big guy, able to find guys in the corner, guys spotting up, and also credit to his teammates for getting open and finding that open spot on the court. And we'll see how Coach Saul's Knights do here as they open up MIAA play in about a minute 30 against the Scots of Alma.
Well, this pregame, sponsored by the Holland Home, also features a look at the Alma Scots. The Scots come in at 2-9 overall, led by fourth-year head coach Mike Fitzpatrick, who is from the East Coast. He previously was an assistant at Case Western Reserve University and also at Susquehanna University and Salisbury University out there in the East Coast. That's all Division III institutions there, but this is his first head coaching gig. His hometown is Baltimore, Maryland, so right out there on the coast. His team is led in scoring by Corbin Heitzman, a 6'7", 190-pound forward who averages 15.3 points and 8.9 rebounds a game. Then Josh Elliott, one of his guards, averaging 10 points per contest, and also shooting almost 39% from three-point range. So should be an interesting one. This pregame look at these teams brought to you again by the Holland Home, and we're just about ready to turn it over to our public address man, Dan Spulma, who will give you the opening lineups. Again, this pregame show brought to you by Holland Home. I can tell you that today's pregame starting lineups are powered by Garrett's Appliances, offering the latest lineup of the top appliance brands at very competitive prices. That's a Garrett's Appliance with locations in Wyoming and Kentwood. Let's turn it over to public address announcer Dan Spulma.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing. Gentlemen, please move your caps. To honor America and those who protect our freedom and hold everyone, please sing along the play of our national anthem. First of all, starting forward is 6'7" junior from Haley, Idaho, who's around the court at Lakeside. Starting at center is 6'6" junior from Kalamazoo, number 24, Logan St. Martin. Starting guard is 6'4" junior from Plainville, Illinois, number 3, Jonathan Collins. Starting guard is 6' sophomore from Cornville, Ohio, number 14, Wade Williams. Starting at guard is 6'3" senior from Cleveland, number 20, Josh Elliott. Head coach for Alma is Blake Fitzpatrick. And now let's meet the Knights. Starting guard is 6'5" sophomore from Plymouth, number 12, Jordan Scott. Starting forward is 6'4" junior from Grand Rapids, number 2,
That's tonight's starting lineups, powered by Garrett's Appliance, offering the latest lineup of the top appliance brands at very competitive prices. That's Garrett's Appliance with locations in Wyoming and Kentwood. Jason, this Alma team they've got some new uniforms of the road variety, the maroon jerseys with the gold numerals. I haven't seen that look since I was a Kelvin student. That goes back to the late 80s, early 90s. Now they had a little different style of uniform, but they had the same color scheme there back in those days. And,
yeah, would you call that a gold or more of a cream on the lettering there?
Yeah, I'd say that's kind of a light gold. I've seen the cream look, but that looks a little bit more like the gold to me. But then again, people might say I'm colorblind. Maybe it's more of the cream, but They are sharp-looking uniforms, I will say that.
So Donovan Collins, Corbin Hensman, Rain Rodick, Josh Elliott, and Logan St. Martin to start for the Scots. And your typical starters here out on the court for the Knights. Knights win the tip.
Here's Jordan Scott. He's going to pull up from the free throw line. Going to be a little short off the front iron, and rebounded there by Heitzman, the leading rebounder and scorer for this Alma team. Heitzman, a junior out of Haley, Idaho. Come a long way to Alma College.
Good look for Scott there, just off the front iron.
Yep, that's Logan St. Martin there, pumps up the three. It's out of Hackett Catholic Central High School in the Kalamazoo area there. So both teams misfiring early on. Got Trevin Winkle. He's going to leave it up top for Overway.
Man-to-man defense here by the Scots.
Winkle trying to back his way in, turns around, off the window and in, and a foul on Rain Rodich. It's one thing, Jason, that Trevin can do. He can post up the opposition on the block. You know, his long, lanky frame, very, very effective there.
Yeah, I think once you realize the isolation and where he was on the court in relation to the basket, about 8-9 feet out, he kind of just decided, you know, I'm going to go to work myself. And Coach Saul gives him the freedom to do so. Unable to capitalize there on the three-point play. Ball caroms out of bounds, last touch by the Knights.
Yeah, that's one area that the Knights are a little weak in, free throw shooting, 66% as a team. So Winkle missing that chance for the old-fashioned three-point play. So 2-0 Knights early on. MIAA opener. We'll try to get you updates on the other MIAA men's basketball games, as well as Calvin women's game up at Alma. There's a missed shot by the Scots. Here comes Calvin in transition.
On the men's side, I know Trine is at Hope today.
They are.
Big matchup.
Well, Winkle feeling it early. Going to miss the three from right out in front of us. Alma's going to push, thinking about the three. Good job by Wrestler to get back in transition on defense.
Yeah, good hustle there. You noticed his man was wide open in the corner, spotting up.
We're going to have a foul on Trip Remersma on the block. It's
Remersma, there's a name from Blast from the Past. I believe that was on...
Oh, Trip Remersma. I'm losing it there.
Jalen Overway.
Yeah.
Trip, a graduate student from last year's men's basketball squad.
Yeah, that was actually Parker Schwartz who got the foul there.
Okay,
yeah, I was just looking at Jay Remersma a minute ago there with some football stats that had kind of slipped by my way, and for some reason Trip Remersma came into my mind, showing my age there. Well, the ball goes out of bounds, and be a turnover. Gives the ball to the Knights. So Luca Wrestler bringing it into the front court. Man-to-man defense by the Scots here. No double team right. Well, here it comes.
Overway working hard down below, finds
Scott, yeah, and he'll bang home the three. And as you said, Jason, that's one thing that Overway does a nice job of, recognizing the double and finding the open man.
Yeah, he kind of anticipates it at this point in his career, right? He's a 20-10 guy throughout his career, so that kind of draws that respect, brings the guy down, and he's already looking kind of who's where before he gets it.
Three from the corner. It's going to hit the top of the backboard, off the mark by Josh Elliott. Knights with the board. Wrestler with a three, and he pumps it in there. And just like that, it's 8-0. Alma's going to take a timeout, and that'll be of the 30-second variety here. So just kind of quick getting you up to date on the other games here. Hope they had a little bit of an earlier start time, so Hope men leading Trine 32-28 with 5 minutes left in the first half. Let's see, Albion is at Olivet. They also had a 7 p.m. tip. Olivet is up 27-20 on Albion. And let's see here. Adrian is up 27-23 in Kalamazoo. They also had a 7 o'clock tip. And let's see, Calvin women are up 31-23 on Alma late in the first half, and also keeping tabs on Hope and Trine women's basketball, and Trine leading the Hope women 26-25 late in the first half, or late in the second quarter.
Good find on that last possession by Jordan Scott in transition, kind of getting it out to an open man. Luca Wrestler, another guy for Coach Saul who's not necessarily the first offensive threat, but always has a green light. Well,
here comes Schwartz on the Euro step move, missed the layup attempt. Rebound will go over to Alma. That is Rain Rodich.
And Parker wants that one back for
He
sure.
does. A long three around the Rosie and in for Logan St. Martin. And the Scots get on the board. Overway in the block, going to turn quickly. Now double teamed and a foul underneath.
I believe that St. Martin got him on the arm coming in.
You are correct.
Actually, he had that on Rodich. Rodich is coming out of the game.
You're right. So Elijah Sykes will check in for Alma. He is a freshman out of Sacramento, California. Wrestler, an open three again, and he splashes it. Well, that's one thing about that Mount Union game. Wrestler, I think, had 5 triples and was one of the few outside threats for Kelvin
and he's
against the Purple Raiders. And boy, that's a good sign.
He's a guy that's able to keep you in the game and when maybe some of your other offensive threats are bottled up or not performing.
Feeling the shooting stroke right now is Luca Wrestler. On the dribble is Sykes. Now they'll kick it around the perimeter. It's a deep three, going to be off the mark by Donovan Collins, who checked in. Junior out of Plainfield, Illinois. Knights with the board. Here's Scott. Kicks left wing. It's Schwartz. Going to be off the mark. Overway the board, though. Another crack at the apple for the Knights.
Good ball movement here by the Knights. Inside of that entry pass. A little soft there from Wrestler.
Yeah, Schwartz had the decided height advantage, about 7 inches underneath on Sykes, and Sykes tried to pull the chair on him, and it did not work out to his benefit there. He got called for the blocking foul, and the bucket will be good for Schwartz.
Looked like he was pulling the chair as Parker Schwartz was making his move to the basket.
Well, another missed free throw by Kelvin. So 0 for 2 there, but up 13-3 on the board. And all Kelvin early on. Elijah Sykes on the dribble.
Zion Ruckert into the game for the Knights. Transfer student, 5th year.
A nice addition to this Kelvin team this year.
St. Thomas Aquinas, I believe, correct?
That's correct. Ooh, head overway, now got him on the second look. Did Trevin Winkle double team to Schwartz, and he lays it up and in.
Good find there by Overway, but also good cut by Parker Schwartz, finding the open gap in the defense.
So Schwartz with a couple of buckets now here, and a couple of assists for Jalen Overway. 15-3 Kelvin.
All Knights here so far.
Pass inside. Oh, it's going to be grabbed by Heinzman, and I think a foul underneath. Let's see if it's on Schwartz or Winkle. If it's on Schwartz, it would be, no, it'd be on Winkle, so that'll be his first. And we will get a media timeout, our first media timeout. Fans Today's featured Kelvin basketball student athlete planning for success honoree is Luca Wrestler. And that is part of our Skipper and Osterink. I got to find my reader here for Skipper and Osterink.
Bryce O'Mara.
It's actually Bryce O'Mara. So we had Luca Wrestler earlier.
Bryce is in his 2nd year with the Calvin's men's basketball team as a post player inside. Bryce is also a Dean's List student majoring in business and marketing. And that is today's Planning for Success feature student athlete, presented to you by Skipper and Osterink Wealth Management, providing financial solutions and services to help you plan for success.
Well, early stats there, Jason. What do we have jumping out at us?
Let's see. I know we got some 2 for 2 out of 3-point field goals made out of Luca Wrestler. That's a big stat in the positive. However, the Knights need to get some free throws sunk here in order to improve on that free throw shooting percentage. Still 0 from the line tonight.
Oh, I see no points for Jalen Overway, but he's got 4 boards and 3 assists. So that's a big positive right there. And Wrestler with 6 points on the back of a couple of 3-point field goals. Logan St. Martin has got a 3 for Alma for the only point so far for the Scots. Hey, in today's game we are watching for the Visser Brothers teamwork of the game. Key play where Kelvin has planned, managed, and executed correctly. That'll be the Visser Brothers teamwork of the game, presented by Visser Brothers General Contractors, or a team of dedicated project professionals knows how to maintain your construction process on schedule and on budget.
Looks like we'll see Jaden Kiefer into the game for the Knights, freshman out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, Ann Arbor Huron High School.
That was Heitzman who missed the open jumper there, and you are right. young freshman in for the Kelvin Knights. You got a foul underneath. Yep, that'll be on the Scots. Preston Malpass.
Preston Malpass. 2-3 zone shown here now by the Scots, changing it up after that last timeout. Here's Overway, gets to the rim, but he's fouled.
Well,
going in for the dunk there.
And see if Jalen can get off the snide a little bit here at the line. Had a little bit of a struggle last week in the games at Mount Union at the free throw line. Normally a really nice free throw shooter is Jalen. And he typically gets to the line a fair amount. So you'd like to see him knock down these points. He comes in with 1,335 career points. 15th place in the career list, and now 1,336.
Not too shabby for his third year on the court.
Needs 21 points in tonight's game to move into 14th place. I was looking that up earlier today, and he'll switch both. So good sign early for Jalen at the free throw line. Hey, halftime, Kelvin women leading Alma 42-31. Good news right there. Here is Scots. Kelvin in the man-to-man defense. Overway going straight up on Heitzman, and he goes up over Overway and laid it up and in.
Good move by their Heitzman. Also good placement there high on the backboard. Overway was coming in to swat that thing off the glass. Almost got there. Here's
going to be a three from the wing, from Kiefer. It'll be off the mark. Open look, though.
He is a good shooter. Let's hope he gets more looks out there.
Shot going to be off the mark by Elijah Sykes. Kelvin in transition with the rebound there. Overway thought about the three, instead puts it on the deck, kicks it right side to Schwartz, back into Overway. Double team comes. Now, kicked around. Little lean in off the window, going to be off the mark there by Ruckert, and here comes Alma.
So Kiefer worked his way into the lineup a little bit over this last road trip, these last two road trips. He's hit some shots. He's pretty good defensively as well.
Well, I think Coach Saul's looking for another bench player or so to kind of help out with the depth here in the minutes in the rotation. Oh, another tough shot by Heitzman. I mean, Overway was right there on the fadeaway.
Nothing Overway could have done. Good defense there, was straight up with him all the way and just faded right away out of Overway's long reach.
Ruckert into Overway, back out to Ruckert. He's got an open three. It's on the way, around and out. And a rebound to the Scots. It was Josh Elliott into the front court. Now swung around to the right side. Pull up three from the right wing. Going to be off the mark by Collins, and Kelvin with the board. Ruckert will slow it down. Kiefer with a little screen action there. Now Overway on the block, really getting belted from behind by Malpass.
Back into a man look here now for the Scots. Overway from the top of the key, off the back iron.
I think Alma will gladly invite him to shoot that. Now he can make it, but I think they would just assume that, and Heitzman with a reverse layup. Overway maybe a little bit fatigued at the end of that possession, and Heitzman just beat him to the spot, put it up and in.
Heat check on Heitzman.
Yeah, 17-9, so Kelvin will take a 30-second timeout. That will become a full timeout. In today's game, we'll be looking for our Energizing the Knights player who gives Kelvin a key lift in the game. It'll be brought to you by Pliables, located at Knapp's Corner in Grand Rapids. Using the freshest, highest quality ingredients, Pliables serves healthy, delicious acai, pitaya, coconut bowls, and smoothies. Your morning booster and your lunch break dream, Pliables at Knapp's Corner. Also, today's first half, again, is brought to you by Skipper No Drink Wealth Management, partnering with you to help unlock your financial potential and build your legacy. Well, first semifinal D1 playoff game coming up tomorrow in football tomorrow night, Jason. We've talked a little bit about it, but what's your pick on that? Ole Miss and Mississippi. Ole Miss is Miami.
Well, I know a lot of Notre Dame fans probably on the broadcast here would like to see their team in over the Hurricanes, but I think they deserve it with that head-to-head victory. However, I have to stick with the local talent and that would be Old Miss with their quarterback, local product out of the greater Grand Rapids area, Trinidad Chambliss, product of Forest Hills Northern High School. I actually reffed some of his basketball games back in a different few years back when I was a...
And talking to Coach Saul, he came here for a basketball visit between his junior and senior year.
That would have been a great pickup for Coach Saul.
I know he thought he had a shot, but then Trinidad had too good of a senior year of football, and the D2s came calling.
Found himself at Ferris, spent 3 years there, and then got an opportunity to take his talents to a Division I program and made the most of it.
Jordan Scott back in, as is Trevin Winkle. Winkle goes to the hole and a tie-up on the shot. That'll be a jump ball, and the arrow says Alma. Jordan Scott in, Winkle in. We've also got in Brady Ewing. Overway's got a few minutes on the bench to give himself a breather. And
JT McElwain also
out of Hamilton High School. Now here gets Heitzman, and he goes right to the hole and scores. You can see why he leads this Alma team in scoring. He's got a nose for the basket, and now he has scored 3 in a row for the Scots.
Scots are hanging around. Let's see how long Coach Saul sticks with this lineup here.
Open look for Winkle, off the mark though, and here comes Alma. They're going to push the pace. A 3 from the wing, going to be off the mark. Jordan Scott with a board.
Scott's looking to push the pace himself, gets out in transition.
Kiefer, a 3 from the wing, going to be off the mark. McElwain with a board, kicks it to Winkle.
Winkle had an open look there. I think he wanted to get it reset here, and Jordan Scott now from the top of the key.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have a foul on Brady Ewing, who threw Alma's Elijah Sykes to the ground, going for that offensive board. Schwartz back in for Calvin. Knight sitting in a little bit of a lull offensively, and the Scots picking up the pace in that regard. Halftime score from Holland. Hope 28 and Trine. No, beg your pardon. That is the women's score. That's down in Angola, 28-28 in that one. On the men's side, Hope leads Trine 46-45. Heinzman missed the shot inside. Elma wanted a foul.
Coach Fitzpatrick is livid right now. Wanted some contact down there.
We're right in front of the Elma bench. Schwartz, a 3, going to be short and rebounded by the Scots. And Josh Bradley.
That's the shot the Knights have to knock down.
They do.
If they want to make a deep run this season.
Scots pushing the pace. They crank up another 3. Josh Elliott off the mark. And spinning to the basket and drawing the foul was Brady Ewing. Pretty good lead pass there to get the transition opportunity for Calvin.
Yeah, good move by Ewing. Just kind of got clobbered by the trail defender coming in there.
Scots wanted the foul, didn't get it.
Conversation now between the bench and the officials.
Adrian up 42-28 at half, men's score over Kalamazoo. And Olivet up 36-24 at the half on Albion. Free throw up and good for Ewing. Back in for the Scots is Donovan Collins. Second free throw, bounces around and in, Overway after a quick catnap back on. Ewing checks out. 19-11, that breaks that lengthy scoring run by the Scots. See if the Knights can buckle in here defensively. Elijah Sykes with the basketball.
Man-to-man, switching up top here on the screens.
That's Collins going to kick to the corner. Gets the return feed. Now it's Sykes trying to dribble his way in, spins. Heitzman again, pulls up and splashes it home just outside the left elbow. Corbin Heitzman.
Heitzman definitely feeling it right now. Knights don't necessarily have an answer for him. He's pretty hot.
10 points for the first 10 minutes. Winkle will kick to the left wing.
Thought about the 3.
Oh, Schwartz well off the mark. Overway battled for the board and off of Overway out of bounds. You know, they're going to encourage Parker to keep shooting those shots because when he gets going, he can be really tough.
I think Overway was the first one to him. He said, hey, keep shooting, keep shooting.
Exactly.
You're going to make those. Those are going to fall.
We saw it in the second half of the year. of the conference campaign. Heitzman, speaking about guys, well, that wasn't Heitzman. That was Melpass who put up the 3. McElwain, the former Hamilton football quarterback and a high-scoring basketball player for the Hawkeyes. Gets it over to Oberway. Double team comes and a steal by the Scots. Josh Bradley picked the pocket.
Jalen didn't catch it clean there.
No.
Thought he might have dribbled. He kind of lost it on the handle. They didn't give him the double dribble. However, didn't anticipate the double team coming as quickly. Led to a turnover there. 13-19 now. Alma keeping it close here.
3 from the top, no, but a punch out by the Scots gives him the offensive board. I think Heitzman is the one who knocked it free, and a 3 is good from the corner for Josh Bradley, and it's a 3-point game at 19-16, closest we've been since the opening minute or so of this contest. It was 17-5 a moment ago, and boy, the Scots on a big run. A 3 from the wing, around and out, and Heitzman with a board, and
Schwartz is going to pick up that foul.
His second. Right now, the Knights getting looks from the outside, but unable to cash in. Wrestler, perhaps the lone Calvin Knight.
They're not bad looks. They're just a little early. It's are falling. We're talking a different tone right now.
Well, I was going to say Wrestler really the lone Knight to be a big-time threat from the outside. 19 of 38 coming into today, and he made his first one. So now what? 20 of 39. Here's a 3, and we're tied. It's from the left side. Elijah Sykes, 19 apiece.
Sykes looks over to the bench trying to get his guys fired up, and they sure are over here on the Alma sideline.
Oberway will kick it over to Scott. Winkle back inside to Oberway. Double team starting to come. He'll go up and get fouled. I think that will be on Logan St. Martin. Let's see here. It will be. I think that's his second. And a timeout here, immediate timeout on the floor. Let's see, for 150 years, Kelvin University has stood as a Christ-centered learning community, preparing students to think deeply, act justly, and live wholeheartedly. As Kelvin celebrates its sesquicentennial, we thank God for his faithfulness and look forward to the next 150 years of shaping leaders for his world. Join the celebration at kelvin.edu//150. Also, tonight we'll be watching for our Defensive Player of the Game, brought to you by Straight Line Fence. That'll be tonight's Defensive Player of the Game, brought to you by Straight Line Fence, transforming properties across Michigan, crafting fences that provide sanctuary, security, and self-expression, committed to care and craftsmanship. Straight Line Fence has earned a reputation as Michigan's most trusted fence installers. Call Straight Line Fence today to start building something beautiful. Well, another look at the updated stats. What are we shooting from three-point range right now?
Just 21% right now. 3 out of 14 from beyond the arc. 2 of those are early on. I believe Luca Wrestler's only 2 shots are from beyond the arc.
Yeah, so 20 of 40 right now, I think. 21 of 40, so he's above 50% on the year. But yeah, beyond him, it has been a bit of a struggle.
A little bit of a drought for the Knights offensively. I'm not sure what Coach Saul is trying to get across to his team, but I think he's just trying to right the ship here, trying to have them regain some of that confidence that they opened up with here. Because, I mean, we started and it looked like this was going to be a quick night for the Knights, and they were going to get this one in the bag early. But the Scots have hung around here, tied this one up with 7 to go, or 8 to go rather, in the first period here at Van Ord Arena.
Overway shooting 2, misses the first off the front iron.
His first miss from the line of the night. Knights are now 4 of 7 from the free throw stripe, still under right around that 60% mark of where they've been at throughout the year.
He eyes it, flies it, and gets it. Whole Alma bench making some noise there in that free throw. 3 of 4 for Oberoi at the line. 20-19, Knights up a point. Ball goes over to Heitzman. Oh, and we're going to have Schwartz, I believe his 3rd foul, trying to push through the high screen.
That is Schwartz, and that is his 3rd early on here. So
yeah, he just rammed right through Sykes.
Here comes the freshman once again, Jaden Kiefer, checking in for Schwartz, who's picked up his 3rd foul with just over 7.5 to go.
Little lob pass and knocked out of bounds by Winkle.
Tried to go up top there to Heitzman.
Into the corner, Elijah Sykes. Little crossover dribble, pulls up, fadeaway from 16, caught the back iron, and an offensive board to Alma.
St. Martin there with the offensive board.
There's a fadeaway by the Scots, and splashing it home, Josh Bradley. Well, that's where those offensive boards will come back to haunt you if you're Kelvin, and if you're Alma, you'll love to see it.
First lead of the night now here for the Knights, in some pressure defensively out on Wrestler.
Into Overway, in the lane, kicks it over to Kiefer, a three, it's open, and it's in there.
And there's the
Knights needed that.
Shooting ability of the freshman. Good job that time by Jalen, keeping the ball high. I think the last couple times he got some hands in there, recognized to keep that ball high. Good outlet pass there to Kiefer on the wing to knock down that three, give the Knights a 23-21 lead. Sykes now out to St. Martin.
Just kind of sets up and rattles it home. The Scots back on top, 24-23. They're getting some penetration with their point guards there, and that's setting up those open looks. Pass inside to Wrestler's going to post up to Overway. He'll crank up a three, going to be off.
Hesitate there. Good catch and shoot in rhythm there.
Elijah Sykes has the basketball, and the Scots into the front court. Little crossover dribble. Scott staying with him there. Another three on the way, off the backboard, and almost fell down.
Bank was not open that time.
No,
for
Logan
St. Martin.
Here's Wrestler to Scott off the screen.
Trying to get a little pick and roll action with Overway. Contact down low.
He is getting
he's working,
some work in the paint there.
And he's working with the ball and without the ball. There's never not a body on Jalen Overway.
Almost
and here
a triple
three
team,
guys,
and that will be, a missed layup by Scott. He thought about the dunk, didn't have his feet down, and then tried to lay it up and missed it.
He cannot hang his head too far for that one. He needs to forget about that one immediately.
He does. St. Martin will kind of float that one up and in. It's a three-point Alma lead with 5:30 to go here, first half.
These things are going to happen throughout the season. We're going to miss a dunk. We're going to miss a layup. But how do we respond?
Overway, a little floater, and he puts it up and in.
St. Martin wanted the call. I thought he flopped there. So did the official. Rather, no call there.
26-25, playing that high pick and roll game is Alma, and off the mark is Sykes.
Knights looking to run here in transition a little bit. Wrestler.
Winkle off the screen.
Knights trail by one.
He'll go to the hole and lay it up and in. I was just about ready to say Knights would like to get a few more shot attempts for Trevin Winkle. And they make good right there, 27-26, 4:45 left.
4 points on the night for Trevin Winkle after those two.
Turnaround jumper.
Bradley, no good.
Yeah, by Bradley on the penetration. Rebound to the Knights. Pretty good defense there by Kiefer. To Winkle. He'll pump up the open three. It is in. Good recognition by Scott. And the Knights back on top, 30-26.
Good ball movement there by the Knights. Good job of Winkle, catch and shoot in rhythm.
Yeah, well,
he'll knock that.
Winkle came in,
down.
I should say, shooting about 41% from three. So Wrestler and Winkle have been the two perimeter threats for Kelvin.
Collins working on the Knights.
I was going to say, that kind of has played true so far in this game. A long three going to be off the front iron by Logan St. Martin, and a good board by Winkle, but he threw it away.
Good hands there by Heitzman, and he'll go to work down low. They're going to get Wrestler on the body.
Yeah, Wrestler, and he looked like he might have turned his ankle a little bit
comes
there.
Up a little hobbled. I don't think he's going to say much. He's just going to get back in the huddle.
Yeah, well, remember last year, Luca turned that ankle last year right before the conference tournament. So hopefully no re-aggravation of that. Looks like we had some subs there as we go into this last timeout. Since 1876, Kelvin University has equipped generations of students to lead and serve today with more than 70,000 alumni living and working in 65 countries. The Kelvin story is one of lasting impact. This year, Kelvin celebrates 150 years of Christ-centered education and the difference it continues to make around the world. Stay tuned for today's halftime show built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. And we will be talking about stats and perhaps what else is coming up in Kelvin athletics, as well as getting you halftime scores from around the league. That'll be the halftime show brought to you by Insignia Homes, and True Kitchens. What do we have there in the stats?
Let's see what stands out. Knights are 62% from the free throw line, just under 30% from three. A couple threes there at the end of the last few possessions for the Knights, keeping them in this one, up by 4 now.
Brady Ewing back in for Kelvin, as is JT McElwain and Zion Ruckert. It's a little bit of a smaller look here for Kelvin. Ewing going to play the post, and he's on Heitzman. Oh, good double team by McElwain, nearly stole it away. Into the game here for the Scots is Radic, back in I should say. Goes to the hole, lays it up and in.
Good ISO there by Radic, got around his defender. Clear lane to the basket from there. Brings the Scots within 2. Brady Ewing now at the top of the key finds Winkle.
Ruckert thought about the three, pulls up. Have to kick it out to Winkle. See who could be the primary person to shoot the basketball. You'd think Winkle would be the go-to guy. Ruckert got double teamed in the lane, out to Ewing. He can make that. It's up there, going to be off the mark. McElwain got a piece, but Alma will come down with the board.
Good fight down there, down low by JT. Undersized big in the game right now. Man-to-man defense by the Knights.
Ruckert going to be called for the foul, and that'll be the 7th on the night. So it'll be a 1-on-1 coming up for the Scots. It'll be Josh Elliott go to the line. Overway's going to come back on, as will Luca Ressler.
Radic was fouled there. Radic at the line.
72% free throw shooter. Little left-handed push shot, and it's up and in. Actually, 60% free throw shooter coming in. Was 18 of 30, now 19 of 31. Second free throw, a little one-handed look, and it is up and in. We're tied at 30 with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, not the most orthodox free throw form that I've seen this year.
No, boy, I'd be dating myself, but kind of looked like a left-handed LeRae Hardy.
Yeah, I mean, I've not lived long enough to see anyone really in a game shoot it underhand, but there's JT McElwain getting to the hole.
32-30, yeah. LeRae Hardy was all-time leading scorer at Aquinas, short little point guard, and he would shoot those little one-handed push free throws, but he was a right-hander, about 5'9", and from the left-handed side, that looked a lot like LeRae Hardy.
Okay.
Kind of played in the mid-80s there for Aquinas. He was good. Here's a three from the wing, and it's good. And the Scots back on top, 33-32. That was Preston Malpass.
Malpass found himself open in the corner, got the dish from Radic. McElwain going down to work.
Ooh, he's going to be fouled there, and I think that'll be a 1-and-1 coming up. 8th foul on the Scots here of the half. I think that was on Rashad Smith.
And in fact, that was his first.
So McElwain at the line. I don't think he has been at the free throw stripe a whole lot this year. Free throw is good. It was his 16th attempt, now 9 of 16 at the free throw line for Mr. McElwain.
Just over 50% there.
Yeah.
Like to get that up, I'm sure he would.
Missed the second and squirts free and rebounded by the Scots, Rashad Smith.
Winkle had an opportunity at that, just kind of snuck past him.
Going to the hole and a block shot by Overway. Oh my, they're going to call the foul well after the play.
That was very late.
That was Heitzman who went to the hole. And they call that foul. They call that on Overway?
They did call it on Overway,
yeah.
Yes. His first.
You know, referee thought about it for a good second and a half and then decided to make the
Well, Heitzelman went in with authority. It almost looked like he was going in for the dunk. And
well,
Overway
I think he had thoughts of a dunk.
Overway had other thoughts, and the official had to think about it. It took him a little while to blow the whistle.
And he rattles home the second free throw, so 35-33. Scott's doing a good job at the charity stripe. Jordan Scott looking inside to Overway. He'll go up and missed it. And a rebound taken by the Scots, Josh Bradley. 1:40 left in the first half. Pass the wing, a three. Going to be off the mark. That was Malpass, and Wrestler with the board.
1:30 to go here. Knights running a little pick and roll action with Overway.
Winkle, wide open three from the top. Swish! 36-35. Winkle getting loose. Now with 10. Knights back up a point. Just over a minute to go, first half.
Trevin Winkle, the leading scorer here for the Knights. First one in double digits on either side.
Off the backboard, batted around, no. Heitzman got the rebound, little turn, going to be off the mark, and a rebound to Winkle.
I take that back. Heitzman has 10 as himself as well. He's the leading scorer for the Scots.
Knights could play a little 2-for-1, and they'll have that opportunity as Winkle switches the pull-up jumper, 38-35. Got about an 11-second differential between shot clock and game clock.
Good awareness there by Coach Saul and his staff to get that play call in and make sure that they got that off in time.
Heitzman going to go hard to the basket, almost dribbled it off his foot. Now on the baseline, goes up, got his man off his feet. Winkle and scores and draws the foul.
The young man is having himself a day here in the first half, going toe-to-toe with Jalen Overway.
Well, second foul on Winkle, too there. You got Schwartz with 3 and Winkle with 2. Kiefer is back on, so you've got another shooter into the lineup. Also coming in, St. Martin
checking into the game for the Scots. He'll replace Malpass. Shot clocks are off. Pending a offensive rebound within 0.7 seconds.
Well, free throw is up there and in, so we're tied at 38. Knights can play for one. Jordan Scott, defended by Grant Mossberg. 12 on the clock. Overway with the high screen.
Overway's coming to set it now.
Here is Scott. It's going to go to the basket, goes up and scores it with 3.5 to go. Scott's a one last chance. Going to be off the mark, and the Knights will take a 40-38 lead into the locker room. Well, we'll wait for the stats here. Can quick give you the other scores from around the league. First of all, late in the third quarter, Kelvin Women leading Alma 51-37. On the men's side, Hope now up on Trine 62-52 early in the second. Adrian up on Kalamazoo 50-30. And Olivet leading Albion 48-35. On the women's side, Trine leading Hope 38-36. Well, I'll tell you what here, Jason, let's take a little break, and then we'll come back with the halftime stats, talk a little bit more about this first half. But let's go back to the studio for our pre-recorded Kelvin spot.
Biggie's Sports Grill, your next destination for any occasion.
With incredible entertainment and amazing food that makes you want to come back for more.
Where family memories are made.
Where sports are enjoyed and friends gather.
Cheers to good times, great friends, and a place where the game is always on. Only at Biggie's.
Join the next generation of global business leaders at Calvin University School of Business, offering 8 undergraduate majors and 2 master's degrees, and exceptional faculty with real-world experience who will partner with you and guide you along the way, and opportunities to participate in internships, study abroad programs, and hands-on learning experiences. This is Calvin University School of Business. Your future begins here.
At Calvin University, innovation powers everything we do, from the classroom to the field. It's how we learn, how we lead, and how we grow together. That's why we're proud to partner with Applied Innovation, a regional company providing practical advice and cutting-edge technology, automation and imaging to drive business forward. Thank you, Applied Innovation, for investing in the future, ours and yours.
The coach just put you in the game. Everything is on the line. Are you ready? Just like a winning team needs a strategy, your finances need a game plan. At Skipper and Osterink, we're your financial coaches. We strategize together, striving to adapt to every financial play. Your victories are our victories. Our goal is to help you be successful. Join the Skipper and Osterink team. Your financial success is our focus.
Whether it's a first savings account or a mortgage down the road, Lake Michigan Credit Union is there every step of the way. As a proud sponsor of Calvin Athletics, LMCU is investing in what matters: student success, strong communities, and a bright future for all. Thank you, LMCU, for helping our student athletes and our neighbors dream big and bank smart.
Where will the next revolutionary idea come from? That next breakthrough in scientific research? Or that next literary masterpiece? At Calvin University, you can dream bigger, think deeper, aim higher. Our world-class faculty push students to keep asking hard questions and never settle for the status quo. Become part of the solution to the world's big problems. Become part of a university that challenges students to go beyond themselves as Christ's agents of renewal in the world. Calvin University. Go beyond.
I was really interested in weaving together those three ideas of medicine and business and engineering into one kind of cohesive thing, because I've started a company to help make low-cost devices for low-resource settings. And so I've developed the Biliroo. The Biliroo helps treat neonatal jaundice for infants in low-resource settings, and it stemmed out of my experiences in Nepal of there being limited phototherapy access there. And so I've developed this device to help treat babies in the way that the parents can be the most involved while harnessing the use of the sun to help treat their jaundice. So the heart of why we created the device is because 1 in every 10 neonates worldwide suffers from moderate to severe jaundice. 6 million infants every year don't have access to the necessary phototherapy treatment to treat their jaundice. I think the mission of Calvin relates really well to my life purpose. I'm so grateful that I chose Calvin because of its integration of faith and academics together, something that the other schools I was looking at didn't have.
The coach just put you in the game. Everything is on the line. Are you ready? Just like a winning team needs a strategy, your finances need a game plan. At Skipper and Osterink, we're your financial coaches. We strategize together, striving to adapt to every financial play. Your victories are our victories. Our goal is to help you be successful. Join the Skipper and Osterink team. Your financial success is our focus.
What I've learned in my 4 years at Calvin University is that believing in yourself means a lot. In your job, in your church, on your team. That belief that you have is what's going to motivate you to become the best you that you can be.
There's a goal for Josh Boyer.
A lot of the guys on the team, they saw me as a leader. I can use those abilities that I learned on the field, and I can use them off the field in the classroom, because that's what's going to make the difference in the world after you graduate.
At Calvin University, innovation powers everything we do, from the classroom to the field. It's how we learn, how we lead, and how we grow together. That's why we're proud to partner with Applied Innovation, a regional company providing practical advice and cutting-edge technology, automation and imaging to drive business forward. Thank you, Applied Innovation, for investing in the future, ours and yours. Whether it's a first savings account or a mortgage down the road, Lake Michigan Credit Union is there every step of the way. As a proud sponsor of Calvin Athletics, LMCU is investing in what matters: student success, strong communities, and a bright future for all. Thank you, LMCU, for helping our student athletes and our neighbors dream big and bank smart.
Biggie's Sports Grill, your next destination for any occasion.
With incredible entertainment and amazing food that makes you want to come back for more.
Where family memories are made.
Where sports are enjoyed and friends gather.
Cheers to good times, great friends, and a place where the game is always on. Only at Big E's.
For as long as I can remember, I had one goal. I wanted to be an Olympic swimmer.
What a finish this is.
By the time I was 12 years old, I was ranked 7th in the entire nation. And for the next 6 years, I basically lived the life of a professional athlete, giving up everything in pursuit of my dream. When I began my college career, my dream began slowly slipping away. I battled sicknesses, injuries, and chronic illnesses I didn't even know I had. When I got cut, I thought my life was over. Everything I had ever worked for, I thought it was for nothing. I had to take time to work on myself and figure out how to take care of not just my physical well-being, but also my mental health. When I entered the transfer portal, I received an email that said, "Here at Calvin, we want to treat you as a whole person, not just an athlete." I knew that was exactly what I was looking for. I've been swimming for almost 2 decades, and it was everything to me. But here I got to discover all that I am. I'm a student, a teammate, a friend. I'm a leader, a coach, a speaker, a writer. I continued my studies at Calvin's Master of Arts in Media and Strategic Communication because I knew I had a story to tell. Communication is power, and Calvin gave me the power to tell my story in a meaningful way and to be the coach I needed. When I think of going beyond, I don't think of medals or records. I think of going beyond expectations, especially your own. Real success isn't just achieving what others expect. It's about rising from what you didn't expect. If life had gone exactly as planned, I wouldn't be the kind of coach I needed when I was younger. But I am, and I'm proud of who I've become. Go beyond what you thought was possible. Go beyond at Calvin University.
The coach just put you in the game. Everything is on the line. Are you ready? Just like a winning team needs a strategy, your finances need a game plan. At Skipper and Osterink, we're your financial coaches. We strategize together, striving to adapt to every financial play. Your victories are our victories. Our goal is to help you be successful. Join the Skipper and Osterink team. Your financial success is our focus.
Release, relate, rejoice, revival, to live for God.
Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
I love the NABE Scholarship Program because I just love how personal these scholarships are for the alumni and for the students. Being a student who grew up in foster care and then getting a scholarship for students who were in foster care and being able to connect with that donor and see the love and the passion that they have for me and being able to resonate with me and what I've gone through. God opened doors that I didn't even know were there. I'm at Calvin and my legacy is starting here.
Calvin showed me the importance of a family-like community. I saw this sort of community present in both my academics and in my athletics. On the field, my lacrosse team took Proverbs 27:17 to heart. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Saying Calvin became my home away from home does not do the place justice. The relationships I made in my time here and the spaces I've grown familiar and fond of have truly made Calvin my home. Calvin University, go beyond.
Welcome inside today's halftime show, beautifully built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. Whether your next project is an urban renewal in the city, a remodel of the family lake house, or a new country estate, the Insignia Homes and True Kitchens team is ready to bring your vision. All right, welcome to today's halftime show, beautifully built by Insignia Homes and True Kitchens. Whether your next project is an urban renewal in the city, a remodel of the family lake house, or a new country estate, the Insignia Homes and True Kitchens team is ready to bring your vision to life. Our halftime statistics brought to you by Advantage Commercial Real Estate. What do we have there, Jason?
Looking at the point leaders for Alma, Corbin Heitzelman with 15 points. You know, that really stands out for the Scots. Really kind of kept them in the game. I think he ran off 7 by himself at one point. Just kind of a fiery play out of him. Knights really seemed to not have an answer for him on the defensive end. Kind of really need to get it together and stick to their assignments there. Other than that, you know, I think 2 for 2 from Luca Ressler, still from 3, and then the 2 big threes from Trevin Winkle there towards the end of the half to kind of keep the Knights in this and provide them an opportunity to claw back into it or stay in it, I guess, and they're never really out of it. Only being down by 1 at the most in that first half. So just, you know, trying to limit those mistakes offensively. Keys to the second half from you, Jeff. What do you see out there?
Well, I would think Coach Saul would be looking for defensive intensity first and foremost. I would say that Alma definitely had a little bit more of a higher intensity level once we got past the opening 5 minutes of the game. Kelvin had that 17-5 lead, and then pretty much all Alma, if you look at the points from that point on to the end of the half. Knights do have a little bit of foul trouble. Parker Schwartz at the 3 fouls, and let's see, 2 fouls on Trevin Winkle, so they'll have to be wary of that. But that's where the bench has to come in too, like the McElwains and the Kiefers and those types of players. So we'll have to see how that all transpires here. But I think the defensive intensity and just limiting some of those offensive rebounds that Alma had as well in the first half will be key.
Overway's got 8 boards all day, 1 on the offensive end and 8 defensively. We'll see if he can get to that, you know, 10 to 12 mark that he's accustomed to getting to this year. But I think offensively also we'll see a heavy dose of Jalen Overway. I think towards the end of the first half, tried to get him involved in a lot of pick and rolls at the top of the key, seeing if he can't catch that ball a little bit deeper and maybe on the run towards the basket, something he's very good at. You know, he had one earlier in the first, or later in the first half, if you will. You know, just kind of too hard off the glass there. Good execution offensively. I think it was Luca Ressler in there with him on that pick and roll particularly. But then the last play of the half, you know, it opened up that screen at the top, had so many guys worried about, oh, they're going to lob to Jay, they're going to lob to Jay. And it gave our point guard,
Tyne Ruckert.
It was Jordan Scott the opportunity to get to the rim to get that last 2 to put the Knights up 40-38 as we start here with Jordan Scott getting the inbound.
Well, Scott's going to pull up right off the jump, going to be short on the pull-up jumper, and the Scots with the board. That was Heitzman who ripped it down.
Almost the same offensive look when we started, just kind of had something develop into a 15-footer.
Scott's with the basketball. Little turnaround up and in by number 20, Josh Elliott. Haven't seen a whole lot of him on the offensive side, but tied at 40.
1 for 4 now on the night for Josh Elliott.
Schwartz up and in, and a foul. And that might be on Heitzman, and I think it is. Nice job by the Knights reversing the ball around and then getting it to Schwartz on the block.
Yeah, Heitzman got up and kind of undercut by the offensive player there. Scary position to be in there for him. Came down hard.
Grand Rapids Northview graduate. Schwartz misses the free throw, 42-40. Knights still struggling at the charity stripe. Also providing Alma a little extra cushion there as far as hanging around in this game. Here's Heitzman. He's going to go to the basket and maybe altered from behind by Schwartz, who will get the board and a foul from behind on Heitzman.
Not sure how much we saw that matchup in the first half, but Schwartz out there on the perimeter on Heitzman. Schwartz with those long arms was able to kind of reach in.
3 fouls on Heitzman now. So you got Schwartz and Heitzman with 3 apiece. And I think that was probably, Jason, some of the strategies to go right at Schwartz to try to pick up a 4th. But in the process, Heitzman has picked up 2 quick ones in the second half. Jordan Scott looking inside for Overway.
Guarded
by pump up the open
Martin.
3, and it's in. 5-point lead for the Knights at 45-40. They were really sagging, almost daring Scott to take that 3.
His second of the night.
Heitzman's going to stay in the game here right now with the 3 fouls. On the block, little quick floater, and it's up and in by St. Martin. Kind of surprised Overway there.
Yeah, I think Overway was a little bit out of position, kind of came over late
I think they're going to call a illegal screen on Overway, trying to set it up for Winkle, but Scott had a wide open 10-footer there in the baseline, maybe being a little too unselfish. Probably trying to run that play there, I think.
Overway's second foul of the afternoon, of the evening.
We could have some foul situations to have to keep an eye on here. Heitzman. Now St. Martin thought about the 3, instead kicks it back.
St. Martin's
Collins
shot 6 of those thus far, 2 for 6 on the night from 3.
Overway with the board off the miss by Collins.
St. Martin leaned into that last screen a little bit. Could have gone offensive there.
Winkle going down the hill. Oh, missed the shot around and out, but got fouled. That's one thing where Winkle is really good. You can get him off those curls and getting them going downhill, and he is really effective. So that is already the 3rd team foul on the Scots. Let's see if the Knights can cash in at the stripe. First one is good by Trevin Winkle.
7 for 22 on the night now are the Knights.
It's up and in. 47-42, Knights back up 5. About 2.5 into this second half. Radic will kick it over to Collins. Up top, St. Martin, little flat-footed 3, and he swishes it home. Just kind of rocker stepped it in.
3 of 7 now is St. Martin, so that's a guy that's not afraid to step out there and jack it up. And here's
Scott, a wide open 3, in and out. Ooh, Overway pushed off a little bit, maybe got away with a foul. They're going to loop it into Overway. Double team comes back to Scott, going to pump up an open 3. It's good. 50-45. Well, right now, Alma definitely saying we're not going to let Jalen Overway have single coverage inside. We're going to double team and dare you to hit it from the outside.
And the Knights are going to have to continue to make those types of shots tonight.
Little floater, it's going to be up and in by Radic.
Here
kind of backs Scott down.
Here comes a 30-second timeout now by Coach
And
Fitzpatrick.
that'll become a full media timeout here with 16:48 left in regulation. Kelvin up 50-47. Well, moving through the old second half script. Time now for this month in Kelvin sports history, presented by Applied Innovation, and I am going to let you do the duties there, Jason.
So this month in Calvin Athletics history is presented, as Jeff mentioned, by Applied Innovation. Today we're going to highlight the 2011 Calvin indoor track and field teams that placed high marks in the on the national scene. The 2011 men's indoor track and field team placed 12th at the national championships behind a second place finish in the mile run from Greg Whittle and a 4th place finish in the 5,000 meters by Nick Kramer. The women's team placed 8th behind a second place finish from Sarah Reisner in the shot put and a national championship performance out of Rachel Berner.
Appropriately named.
There we go, in the 400-meter dash. This month in Calvin Athletics history is once again presented by Applied Innovation, connecting Calvin alums for over 35 years.
Yeah, those are great athletes on that Calvin combo men's and women's indoor track and field team back there in 2011. Calvin women leading Alma 59-53 with about 5:45 left in regulation up there at Alma. So I think it was 52-34 at one point. The Scots have come storming back. Anna Fernandez has a career-high 28 points for the Calvin women right now as we speak.
It's good to see her bounce back from an illness the other day. Sat out against Hope College.
Yep. Really played well out in Maine earlier in the week. Had that big upset win over Bowdoin.
Yeah, it was tough to see her sit out that MIAA opener against the Dutch on January 3rd.
Oh, there's Luca Ressler. Beautiful senior-like move. He had been double-teamed and then saw the double team disappear and did a little wraparound up and under move.
And that's a guy who I'd like to see the Knights kind of work through a little bit more offensively in times like this when they maybe seem to need that boost a little bit.
There's a fadeaway off the glass and in by you-know-who, Mr. Corbin Heitzman.
Tough shot for him.
17 now, that's his first two of the second half, inside to Overway. He's going to go hard to the hole, off the window and in. 54-49, both teams going to their workhorses right now.
That's a great way to beat the double team, Jeff, is to kind of get to work before it gets there to you. That's exactly what Jalen did that time down.
Three from the top by St. Martin, or actually that was Heitzman, beg your pardon. Rims around and out, Knights in transition. Winkle going downhill, off the window and in.
Good touch there by Winkle off the glass with contact there.
It's got 16, does Trevin Winkle. Here's the three, up there, no, by Colin, and Overway had it for a moment. Heitzman got it back, goes up, missed it, maybe partially blocked by Overway, and he got the board.
Here's Ressler now looking to run.
Going to have a warning on the Alma bench there. Cody Kiefer coming on.
Coach Saul not particularly happy about that timing of that dead ball there.
Yeah, Knights in a little bit of a secondary break, and then...
I mean, the entry pass is into Jalen Overway. He's making his first move. I think that's a little
Yep, I'm with you.
If you're going to take that and warn him at a different time, maybe on the way back, maybe after Jalen puts that two-point basket in. But yeah, nonetheless, we'll go to a media timeout due to that.
Yeah, it's an extra media timeout here. 3-point game up at Alma right now, 59-56. Alma Scots making a late push against the Knights here in this opening week of January. Boy, I can think of a couple of Calvin Alma men's games down through the years that were league openers. I've been around long enough, Jason. This is my 31st year. Well, I was actually a student. It was back in 1991. I was talking to Dr. Timmer about it. He was a student assistant coach at the Calvin men's basketball team. And Alma actually taking a 2-point lead on a layup with 2 seconds left. The Knights had a pass to midcourt, called a timeout, had 1 second left. Then a pass from midcourt to Todd Hennig, turnaround three at the buzzer, found nothing but the bottom of the net, and the Knights pulled out a 1-point win. I think it was 72-71 or 73-72.
All that with 1 second on the clock?
Well, with 2 seconds, they had to go length of the court. So yeah, Chris Canuster actually caught the ball at midcourt and called a timeout to get the ball to midcourt.
Was that in the Hogan Boom gym?
No, that was up at Alma. I actually was at that game.
Okay.
It was class hadn't started yet, if I remember correctly. Kind of like what we're at right now.
Not bad attendance, however, for
not at all.
Evening when students are not back in session. January 20th is
Overway got the ball knocked away from him. Scott's with the steal. No, I agree. Not a bad crowd at all.
We have tag architecture here.
Oh, an alley-oop attempt was
Roddick sent it up to Heitzelman. Looked like they drew something up in the timeout, trying to get a big play there, big energy play on the alley-oop.
Yeah, well, you know, when you're the underdog like Alma, you're probably going to empty the playbook and probably not too worried about the fine margins.
Down 7 is Alma, working defensively. Ressler.
Knights haven't gone up by double digits since the first 5 minutes of the opening half. Here is Ruckert on the baseline, got cut off. Now here's Ressler on the left block, back to Ruckert. He'll pump up a three, around and out, and a rebound to Heitzman.
Overway still working hard on the offensive glass there.
3-point game up at Alma on the women's side, 61-58.
Ruckert almost had a steal.
I think we're going to have a foul from behind. Might be on Ruckert from behind. Let's see.
Got himself out in the passing lane, trying to get a...
Fouled Sykes.
Get a tip on that one, and was working from behind. Foul's on Winkle. That's his third. So that was not on Ruckert. That was on Winkle.
So now we've got some foul trouble on 3 different players. There's a fadeaway. I think Overway got a little piece of that one on St. Martin.
He did. Got the rebound as well.
Kiefer, it's going to pump an open 3, going to be off the mark. A rebound to the Scots. That's Josh Elliott with it. And a foul going to be on Kiefer. So that will be the third on Calvin. Got a 1-point game up on the women's side with 3:20 to go.
Bradley and Malpass checking into the game for Alma, followed by Jordan Scott and Brady Ewing back in for your Knights.
Yeah, Malpass gave Alma a good little push in the first half. Here's a lob to Heitzman. He goes up and in. Good inbounds play. I think they felt like they had a mismatch.
Not the first time they tried that to Malpass,
to Heitzman.
Heitzman rather.
You just hear the Scots right there saying no double teams now that Overway's out of the game. Here's Kiefer, little, oh, that should be a goaltend. No, they're not going to say goaltend.
That looked like it was on the way down.
Yeah.
Calvin Bench thought that was on the way down. Kiefer.
Turnover,
well.
Scott player down on the ground. Here is Winkle on the break, goes up and fouled. Looks like Alma up 63-61 on Calvin women with just over 2 minutes to go.
That player down for the Scots is Elijah Sykes.
I know Trainer is out there to take a look at Elijah Sykes as Winkle will go to the line with 12:51 to go here. We're going to take be kind of like our media timeout. So fans, today's Calvin Women's Sports Report presented by Lake Michigan Credit Union. And Jason, I'm going to give you the honors again.
Here we go. Let's see. Last month, the Calvin's Winter Invitational, sophomore Zoe Poe of the Calvin's Women's Swimming and Diving team broke 3 school records in the distance freestyle events. Poe started by setting a new school record in the 500 freestyle and followed that by doing the same in the adroit 100 freestyle and the 1650 freestyle to complete her weekend triple crown. And that's today's Calvin's Women's Sports Report, brought to you by Lake Michigan Credit Union.
Well, looking at the other scores here, Alma women up 65-63 on Calvin with 1:37 to go. That's been quite a comeback by the Alma women. Trine women up on Hope with under a minute to go, 62-55. Men's games here. Let's see, Olivet up 61-50 on Albion with 6 minutes to go.
A lot of free throws for Alma women.
Yeah.
Every time I look over at the screen, it looks like they're on the line.
Hope up 76-72 on Trine on the men's side, and Olivet, or actually it's Adrian 71 and Kalamazoo 43 late in the second half.
Winkle sinks the first here in this one, 57-51 now, Calvin.
And he makes the second. Schwartz will come back on for Winkle.
So 3 fouls replaces 3 fouls here for the Knights that have 2 starters out there, along with McElwain, Ewing, and Kiefer to round out their 5.
Josh Elliott, pass inside, goes to Heitzman, reverse layup is up and in, and he's got 21 points, 58-53. Full court pressure here by the Scots. Man-to-man pressure, kind of token pressure, if you will. 12:20 to go here. Scott will swing it over to Schwartz, looking inside, and Ewing was fouled from behind. He was boxing out Donovan Collins for position.
Yeah, looks like they got tangled up in there. Ewing was fighting for position. Collins significantly undersized there. Just kind of got tangled up. 5 fouls to 3 now.
Long pass up top. McElwain in the game here, behind the back dribble. Over to Kiefer. A couple of young guys in the game right now. Oh, good little show and go, and Schwartz to the hole, missed it. Heitzman.
Too hard off the rim there. That's the second layup Schwartz would love to have back. He missed one early on an almost gimme. He almost looked like he wanted to go up for the dunk and just kind of floated it in there off the back.
A little loose on the handle there.
Here's
for the
McElwain now
Scots.
in transition.
And knocked out of bounds from behind.
That'll bring us into
Josh
a media timeout here coming up. With 11:42, the Knights lead 58-53 in the MIAA opener.
Yep, fans, today's broadcast again brought to you by Skipper No Strength Wealth Management, providing personal financial strategies tailored to your goals and lifestyles. I think we're in pretty good shape with our sponsored spots here right now.
In the arena, as I mentioned, we have TAG Architecture here at a corporate sponsored event. Bob Sack put that together for them. And we also have the Woodlawn CRC Choir here.
Yeah, my dad's a part of that. He was talking to me. I saw him at lunchtime today, and his first ever time up in the hospitality suite.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You couldn't get him passes. You've been here for 31 years, and it's the first time as his church invites him to an event here.
1965 Calvin graduate.
Well, that's good. That's good that he's up there. It's a beautiful space to take the game in.
It is.
Here in Van Noord Arena.
Yeah, I think my mom's up there with him too. I can see her up there. So Calvin women down to 67-65 with 55 seconds left. At one point that game was 52-34 Calvin in the third quarter. Life on the road can be interesting in the MIAA, I can tell you that. And the Knights are at home in this one, and life's been interesting in this one. Large part of that is the effort of the Alma Scots. They have come with a determined and energetic attitude in this one. And they're only down 5. A little bit of a zone look here for the Scots. Wrestler going to be a 3 off the mark. Going up high. Scott, no, on the putback. Kicked out. And no foul called. Ball comes loose. Scott has it. McElwain into the paint. Outside to Scott.
Thought about it.
Well, he's got Heitzman on there, so decided to run a little clock, but there's only 2 on the clock. Scott is fouled. Oh my, with about 1 on the shot clock there by Preston Melpass. And the Alma bench can't believe it. They thought initially Schwartz probably should have had foul number 4 on that loose ball there. There was a no call. Pretty tough situation where both guys had a right to the basketball. They both kind of collided, so who do you call the foul on?
A lot of action on that last possession, and Jordan Scott was in a lot of it. Good offensive rebound. Skied in there, grabbed one of them to keep it alive, and then I think he was involved on that loose ball where maybe Parker Schwartz got away with one there. I think he was the player that ended up picking it up, held on to it until the shot clock ran out and was able to draw the foul and sink a pair here.
Well, Scott gets both free throws, so that's a big 2 points. And the Knights up 7 at 60-53. 13 for Jordan Scott. Heitzman just trying to back his way down on the baseline, goes up and off the backboard and in.
And Schwartz had no recourse there unless he's going to go up and risk getting his 4th foul there.
Well, Wrestler got a little lane to the basket, goes up, a scoop and a score.
Good double clutch there. Good athleticism by the senior from Grand Rapids Catholic Central. Draws the contact, readjusts midair.
On Josh Elliott.
Kiss it off the glass for 2. Get an opportunity for the old-fashioned 3-point play here. Luca Wrestler remains perfect from the field.
Yep. Off the back iron, Overway will come down with the offensive board. Kicks it out to Winkle. Back inside to Overway, double teamed.
Lost it on the dribble there. Wanted to
back into Overway. He'll go hard to the basket, off the window and in. 64-55, Overway with 9 points.
Great with his back to the basket, takes 1 pound, little shimmy shake with his shoulders and finds the basket. Probably what he wanted to do on the first dribble there, just kind of lost it.
Largest lead for Calvin since midway through the second half. Here's a three from the top. No, St. Martin off the mark, and I think Winkle got the tip defensive board. Oh, pass corralled by Overway. Scott, a line drive three off the mark, rebounded by Josh Bradley.
Job by Jalen corralling that lob in entry pass.
A steal by the Knights. Here is Schwartz. Gonna go all the way to the hole, lay it in. Knights up double digits, 66-55.
Wrestler able to get the steal on the defensive end. Quickly looks up, finds a streaking Schwartz. Use his athleticism to get to the rim for 2. Extends the lead now 11.
Here's a three, and a foul on Scott, who said he got a piece of the ball, and he might have, but he also got a piece of St. Martin. Kind of an unfortunate foul there.
Yeah, they really watch the follow through these days. I think the NBA players that, follow through and come down and land on a foot and they fall, I think that's kind of carried over a little bit in this game. Not saying that Collins flopped in any way there, but these officials just kind of keep a closer eye on that follow through.
At that Pistons-Knicks game the other night, was watching that, and they called, I think, Isaiah Stewart for one of those type of fouls on a Jalen Brunson jump shot. Of course, former Calvin men's basketball standout Jordan Brink, assistant coach with the New York Knicks, so I kind of had my eyeballs on that, despite being a Pistons fan as well, So.
Yeah, Jordan Brink, former All-American here for the Knights, good 4-year player. Where does he rank on the all-time scoring list? He's got to be a little bit ahead of Jay.
Yeah, he's just over 1,500 points, so I think he is in 7th place, 6th or 7th place. I got the list here, so I'll go through it at our next checkpoint. Overway on the block. Nice little cut by Ruckert. Off balance, got hit in the mouth. Missed the layup. Scott's with the board.
Scots are throwing everyone at Overway once he touches the ball.
Pull-up three and no on the shot. Heitzman got the board, whips it up top to St. Martin.
Sykes wanted that same
Here's a
type
three, and I think he stepped out of bounds. Yeah, he did Elijah Sykes with 9:03 to go here. So a little bit of a wild stretch of play there. Jordan Brink, 10th place on the Kelvin scoring list. Was a little high there. 1,497 career points for him.
So Sykes steps on the line there.
Well, Wrestler going to pump up a three. In and out. Why not, I guess? Sykes with the basketball, going to kick it up top. Collins a three from the right side, around and out, and Winkle with a good box out on the board.
Here come the Knights.
Here's Overway, kind of box his man out. He's on the block, single coverage, now outside. Wrestler, three, around and out, and rebounded by Sykes. Another three for the Scots, and it's down, and a timeout by Alma with 8:21 to go. 66-60. That'll become a full timeout, so it'll be our under 8 timeout. Time now for Know Your Knights, presented by Spartan Nash, with locations near you, including, and this is where I have to come up with the hometown. It's got to be a West Michigan one, where they have a Spartan Nash store. So, let's say we're going to come up with, I'm going to say Michael DeKuyper, freshman out of Rockford, Michigan, where I know they have a Spartan Nash store up there in Rockford, Michigan. I don't have the address right off the get-go. Michael DeKuyper, freshman. His sister Sammy on the Calvin women's basketball team, and you can find your Spartan Nash branded stores either in the form of Family Fare or D&W throughout West Michigan. Again, today's second half brought to you by Skipper No Strength Wealth Management, retirement planning that seeks to deliver the retirement outcomes that you deserve. Well, unfortunately, a final up at the Art Smith Arena for Calvin fans. Alma, if you're an Alma fan, rejoicing, 71-67. The Alma women come from behind and defeat the Calvin women's basketball team. See if I can't get you the other scores here. Well, Trying defeated Hope 67-61. That's on the women's side. They are almost, yeah, that's a final. On the men's side, Adrian 77, Kalamazoo 55. A final from Olivet. Olivet defeats Albion 69-59. And Hope holds off Trying 82-80 on the men's side.
Close one there.
And we got a fairly close one here, 66-60 into Overway. Double team comes a little late, and he rolls in the short paint shot in the paint. It's 68-60. He's in double digits with 11.
Working against a man there.
Yeah, 4 Kelvin Knights in double digits now in scoring.
Good quick move there by Jalen.
Going all the way to the basket and off the mark. There are the Scots. Comes Kelvin quickly the other way. Jordan Scott. Oh, no one there. Overthrew Overway. And the Scots come up with it, going hard to the hole. Sykes. And he picked up his dribble, laid it off. No, off balance shot. Off the mark by Heitzman and rebounded by Winkle.
Awkward finish there by Sykes. Looked like he was going to shoot it and then dumped it off the last minute.
To Schwartz, thought about the three, instead pump fakes and goes right to the basket, laid it up and in.
Good aggressive move there by Schwartz, thought about it.
You got all 5 Kelvin starters in double digits in scoring right now, 71-60. Here is Heitzman, he goes up, got a shot partially blocked by Schwartz. Overway with a board, up to Winkle, under 7 to go. Knights up 10.
Knights not looking to slow down yet, looking to get right into their offense here. Schwartz working.
Here comes that double team to Overway, and he got fouled. And that is foul number 8 on the Scott, so Overway will go to the line for the 1-and-1.
Roddick thought he came away with that ball cleanly there.
Overway came in shooting 62% from the free throw line, about a career 76% free throw shooter. So a little bit under his career mark. Makes the first free throw though. I think he is 4 or 5 now.
4 of 5 tonight.
In this one. .11 Kelvin lead, 71-60. It's up there and in there. 72-60 with 6:40 to go.
It's now 14 of 20 from the charity stripe tonight. Probably right around their average for the year.
Yep. Scott offenses, especially from the three-point range, has slowed down a little bit here in the second half. Of course, I say that, they pump up a 3. Well, they'll miss it. Ewing with the board. Jordan Scott got a lane to the basket. It's going to go all the way off the window. No. Now they're going to say shooting or on the ground. On the ground, so still be a 1-on-1 here. I think that's the 9th foul on the Scots here in the second half.
Fouls on Roddick. That's his 4th.
Yep, fouls are starting to rack up against the Scots.
12-point lead here for the Knights, 6:25 to go. Jordan Scott on the line, 1-and-1.
62% free throw shooter on the year, makes the first.
He'll
Free
get
throw
the
shooting
bonus.
starting to pick up a little bit here for the Knights in this one. McElwain back on for Wrestler. Got a swim meet coming up at home Friday at 3 o'clock. Little matinee Friday afternoon swim meet. A couple of nationally ranked teams, Kelvin and Wayne State. Wayne State D2, Kelvin D3. And second free throw. Rattles, rolls, and falls.
Should be a good event in the Venema Aquatic Center.
74-16. You get home in a decent hour on top of it. Watch that other national playoff semifinal football game. That's Indiana and Oregon. That's Friday night.
A couple of Big Ten schools battling it out for a chance to...
You have a Big Ten team in the national championship game. 3 is going to be off the mark by St. Martin, rebounded by Schwartz. Can't believe I called him Trip Remersma to start out the game. We love you though, Trip, if you're watching this ball game. Here is a three by Ewing. It's up and in, and the Knights can smell this one. 77-60 as far as a win is concerned. Still 5.5 to go, but here is a turnaround fadeaway three is going to be off the mark. Scots get the offensive board. Heitzman lost it, and it went out of bounds. Off a Kelvin leg. With 5:26 left in this contest. Back on for the Scots, Preston Malpass. Well, I got to look at some of these post-game awards that we have to give out here. We'll have to start thinking about it. Oh, going to be a three-point attempt and a foul on Winkle.
Collins caught it off the inbound and jacked it up real quickly. Winkle on the defense had his hand in there.
We need a we'll need an energy efficient player of the game, an energizing Knights player of the game, a defensive player of the game, and I know there's like a teamwork play of the game. So there's like 4 post-game awards that Mr. Bob Sack has us giving out here. I have to see who that sponsor is on the teamwork play of the game there. Free throw around and out.
You know, the teamwork play of the game, when we do find that sponsor, I'm going to have to probably go back to that loose ball exchange down here in the second half, down at the other end. The one where, let's see, Jordan Scott had 2 offensive kind of hustle play rebounds. You know,
Visser Brothers teamwork of the game key play.
We brought that possession into the final seconds of the shot clock. Had Parker Schwartz get involved. Everybody kind of tipping it around to each other, and then Jordan Scott was able to capitalize and get fouled, draw the foul within the last second, earning himself 2 free throws.
Well, we're gonna give that one for our team play of the game.
Check that one off the list.
Yeah. Visser Brothers teamwork play of the game. Brought to you by Visser Brothers General Contractors, or a team of dedicated project professionals knows how to maintain your construction process on schedule and on budget. Right now, Kelvin up 15, under 5 to go. McElwain a pull up from 17, good. 79-62, 4.5 to go.
It's been pretty active offensively, the sophomore from Hamilton has.
Heitzman still in the game here, pulls up his dribble at the free throw line, going to the hole. Shot's going to be off the mark by Collins, and a rebound to Kelvin. Scott up ahead to Schwartz. Back up top to Scott.
And the Knights will slow it down a little bit here.
Run a little clock. Well, Schwartz is trying to post up and stepping out in front and grabbing the steal was Donovan Collins. Oh, here's Heitzman. Got cut off at the right block, but a three from the right side is going to be up and in by Preston Malpass, and 79-65, 14-point game, 3:45 to go, and Alma will call a timeout, so that'll become a full commercial timeout. Kelvin University Athletics offers summer sports camps and 15 different sports for kids in elementary school through high school. Visit KelvinKnights.com for a complete list of camps. Kelvin Summer Sports Camps are sponsored by Power Strength Training Systems. With 6 locations throughout West Michigan, we specialize with specialized training programs for high school and college athletes, plus customized training for adults over 40. Power Strength Training Systems is West Michigan's comprehensive athletic training center. Check them out today at powerstrengthpro.com. Also, since 1876, Kelvin University has equipped generations of students to lead and serve. Today, with more than 70,000 alumni living and working in 65 countries, the Kelvin story is one of lasting impact. This year, Kelvin celebrates 150 years of Christ-centered education and the difference it continues to make around the world. All right, so we'll need a...
So we got energy efficient player, right? So we got it between, I'll let you make the final call, but we had Luca Ressler early on in the game, right? He was 2 for 2 for quite some time for 3. At one point he was so efficient he had made all of his shots, you know, but he's kind of cooled down here since then. I think he provided a lot of energy, a lot of efficiency for them early on, but I think overall we also have Trevin Winkle who's 6 for 9 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, and 4 for 5 from the free throw line. So that's quite an efficient day.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to give the Bauman and DeGroat Energy Efficient Player of the Game to Trevin Winkle, and the Energizing the Knights player to Luca Ressler. So yeah, we'll give those out at the conclusion of the game there, and then we need a Defensive Player of the Game as well.
We'll see who can earn that here in the last few minutes of the game.
Kiefer pass into Overway. Ball swinging around the horn. Ressler from the top, around and out. Overway with the board. He's going to bull his way up, missed it, got his own board, got fouled, and he'll go to the line for a pair. Double bonus now. And that is foul number 5 on Preston Malpass. Sophomore out of East Jordan. I think he might have gone
five fouls on Malpass there, so his night is done.
Overway with 13 on the evening.
Another double-double to add to his total.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start tallying those up. A couple of years ago, I was up to date on how many career double-doubles, first free throw in and out, and kind of lost track, but I'll tally them up. It'll be a duty for either later tonight or tomorrow morning. Does make the second free throw. So give him 14 on the day, 80-65.
Jordan Scott and Parker Schwartz checking back into the game for the Knights.
So you got Overway with 14, Ressler with 10, Scott with 15, Winkle with 18, and Schwartz with 10.
And all the starters remain out there for the Knights here.
We're gonna have a foul coming up to Ressler, and yeah, Coach Saul's not going to like that. That allows Alma to score points with the clock stopped when you're up 15. You could hear Coach Saul just saying that's not what we're looking for right now. Want to make them earn it.
A little bit too easy for them.
Yep. Free throw is going to be a little shy of the mark by Josh Elliott. Second one is up and in. Elijah Sykes back on for the Scots as Elliott will check out. Senior out of Freeland, Michigan. And I have the little full court pressure by the Scots. Knights break it. Winkle into the front court and leaves it over to Ressler. Inside to Overway. Corner ball to Schwartz, now up top to Ressler. 10 on the shot clock. Scott will go to the hole, goes up, missed the layup, but was fouled. Let's see who they give it to. Yeah, number 11, Corbin Heitzman. That'll be his 4th. Scott with a chance to go back to the line. Got to see what his career scoring high is. Of course, Jordan took last year off, makes the first free throw. Now it's 16. Had some nice moments his freshman year 2 years ago. And he makes the second, so give him 18 on the night.
Definitely glad to see Jordan Scott back in a Knight uniform here. One of the keys to this team's success thus far. Having himself a great game today.
Three-pointer is up and in by the Scots. That was Heitzman. He's got 23 now.
Here's Scott working on Collins.
Scott going up, scoring, and a foul. He's got 20 and a chance to make it 21.
Good at drawing that contact and staying focused on his body control.
And he's got a career high, just confirmed it.
21 points for Jordan Scott.
Scoreboard up ahead says 20, but I think it's 21.
I think it actually is 20. I was looking at my stats. I think he had 17 going in the last 2 free throws.
Well, regardless, that is a new career scoring high for him.
It's a quiet 22. I mean, he wasn't. You know, he kind of spread his 20 out. It wasn't until the.
Well, Winkle drive into the hole and scoring. So he's got 20. St. Martin maybe dragged his pivot foot, goes to the basket though, giving up the 3 for the 2.
Haven't seen that from St. Martin. He's shot about 7 threes tonight.
We're going to have a 30-second timeout taken by Kelvin. Well, let's try and see if we can't get some of those awards out of the way. Let's see, what did we say? The Bauman and DeGroat energy efficient player of the game is Trevin Winkle.
Trevin Winkle, correct. 6 of 9 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3 and 4 for 5 from the free throw line is pretty efficient for him.
Yeah, so that'll be Trevin Winkle, the energy efficient player of the game, presented by Bauman and DeGroat, where only the best heating and cooling systems are recommended for you with no upselling and no pushy sales tactics. Need I think a defensive player of the game, brought to us by Straight Line Fence. So who's going to be our defensive player of the game?
I think one stat that isn't on here is how hard Jalen Overway has
worked the same thing
on defense. He has 12 defensive rebounds, so that alone is quite the total there.
Well, and some block shots to go with it.
Absolutely, and just how hard he's been working on the offensive end. He's getting contact every time, whether he has the ball, whether he doesn't have the ball. It seems like one of the strategies here for the Scots tonight was put a body on number 4 anytime he passes you, and you can tell that he is quite sweaty out there, had a hard night's work, but I think Jalen Overway defensively has been pretty stout here for the Knights.
All right, so that would be brought to you by Straight Line Fence, today's defensive player of the game. Straight Line Fence, transforming properties across Michigan.
Collins with the steal there.
Yeah. And we're going to have a foul on the night. So, again, Alma with a chance to shoot free throws.
There's Heitzman again, fouled on the first attempt, got his own board after that and put it back, but that one was waved off.
Yeah, we'll save the post-game reads here for when we get to the post-game. But we'll have Overway as the defensive player of the game. And I think, Wrestler for the energizing the Knights player of the game. First free throw is up and in by Heitzman. He's got a game-high 24 points. Came in averaging about 18.5 a game. He's going to bump that scoring average up a little bit, makes both free throws. Still full court pressure look here by the Scots. 87-73, 14-point game.
Definitely credit to the Scots, though, for sticking with this one. You know, coming out here and really giving the Knights all that they could handle in the first half. Heitzman, big part of that offensive effort for the Scots as Overway works his way into another offensive rebound and another 2 points on the spin move and hook shot there.
Gives them 16 points on the evening. A minute to go here, 89-73. Pass inside and picked up by the Scots in the loose ball. Josh Bradley. They pick up the dribble of 3 from right out in front of me, off the mark by St. Martin. Scots get the board. Heitzman. Another 3 by Sykes, and it's good. 89-76. Full court pressure by the Scots. So they're going to finally pull it off with
13-point game here. 35 to go.
Yeah, about 8 seconds between shot clock and game clock. So Knights will have to put up a shot or just turn over the ball. We'll see what they decide to do. My guess is they'll probably try a shot rather than just willingly turn it over, but they're going to roll it down a little.
Here goes Luca with 8 to go on the clock.
Pass inside to Overway, and he'll lay it up and in with 13.7 to go. He'll finish with 18 points here.
18 and about 16 boards. Not a bad night for the leading scorer for the Knights.
Layup up and in with 2.8 by Bradley. Knights just have to inbound it here, and they will. And that will do it here from Benord Arena. Final, Kelvin 91 and Alma 78. So let's see, the Bauman and DeGroat energy efficient player of the game. That goes to I think we already gave that one out.
We did.
Yeah. So the defensive player of the game, that goes to Jalen Overway, brought to you by Straight Line Fence, transforming properties across Michigan by crafting fences that provide sanctuary, security, and self-expression. Committed to care and craftsmanship, Straight Line Fence has earned a reputation as Michigan's most trusted fence installers. Call Straight Line Fence today to start building something beautiful. And then, the energizing nice player of the game goes to Luca Ressler. He had 10 points in this one, and that's the Energizing Knights player of the game, brought to you by Pliables, located at Knapp's Corner, Grand Rapids. Using the freshest, highest quality ingredients, Pliables serves healthy, delicious acai, pitaya, coconut bowls, and smoothies. Your morning booster and your lunch break dream, Pliables at Knapp's Corner. And not sure if Coach Saul's going to come over here for the post game. You want to do it, or you want me to do the post game interview?
I can do it if you
I'm going to turn it
hand it over to Coach Saul. So Jason Fossey joined here post-game with Coach
Fossey,
Saul.
we got you today.
That's right.
I love it, man. That's beautiful.
Good win, way to open up MIAA play here. First half, little touch and go there for a minute. Let me talk about some of the adjustments we made with the team here in the second half that kind of got us over the hump, starting to play the way we kind of expect our Knights to play out there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little rust, maybe a little complacency, but we just didn't have it to start, and to be quite honest, we really didn't get it after. I mean, it was just, we got to be better than that, right? I mean, I was disappointed in our defense today. I thought, I mean, in credit Alma, I mean, they did a good job of attacking us, but really disappointed in our defensive effort, and how many times they got paint touches and got to spots. That just can't happen as we continue on. And then, I mean, man, it was a struggle from three tonight. They let us shoot as much as we wanted to, and you score 91 points and end up shooting 46%, and I'm like, man, we got to be better than that too.
Yeah, it seems like they knew what they wanted to do with the big man down below with Jay. Every time he touched the ball, even when he wasn't touching the ball, they had hands on him, bodies on him. Talk about how he played today. He was able to find those open shooters despite maybe their performance from beyond the arc. How did Jay do, when maybe offensively he wasn't getting the looks he was accustomed to early on?
Look, Jay did great tonight. We missed him a bunch of times. We also can't get in a situation where we're just looking and trying to get it to him on every possession either. So we got to find flow. But, I thought in the second half, when I told him this, that was a little too unselfish. I thought there was a number of times he could have taken it through that double team. The double team wasn't all that good, and he was very quick to get the kick. And I was like, man, sometimes you just got to go score it. But, some good performances by other guys, right? I mean, we had 5 guys in double figures. I thought Jordan Scott down the stretch played really well. Got a little comfort zone of finding some good areas to get some things done.
Career high for him tonight. 20 points out of him.
Great to see. Trevin played great. I thought he was probably our most consistent all the way today, right? Of like kind of giving what we need. But and then I mean, man, we just, like you said, I mean, like Luca Ressler shooting 66% from 3, and I swear, on those threes, just one of those nights, right? I mean, about 4 of them were rattled in and then somehow went back out. So, I mean, we gotta still find the right formula and the right mix.
So now we're in MIAA play. This is this kind of the second season. We had our non-conference early on. Now we get into conference play, and then obviously the third season is if we're fortunate enough to get into postseason play. What are the keys moving forward here in the MIAA as we get into the thick of it?
Well, look, I mean, we have to play way better than what we did tonight. I mean, we didn't. We are a really good defensive team, but tonight we didn't look like it, right? And that's what we need. I mean, if we're going to make a run, we got to still stand on what we have to get done on the defensive side. And today there was just too many easy actions, right? Too many things that we allowed to happen. So, man, we got to nip that in the bud. Way too many paint touches, right? I mean, my goodness, they put 26, points in the paint. we have to be better. But I am really confident here in practice and everything else that we will be. I can assure you. We will be better defensively come Saturday.
Yeah, your young guys look like they're giving you good minutes. Justin McElwain, JT McElwain, Jaden Kiefer getting in on the action a little bit.
Yep.
Those guys do bring a lot of energy defensively as well as on the offensive end. Any final thoughts after this one here? 91-78 here, the final from Van Noord Arena.
Yeah, well, thanks for the fans that came out. It's kind of nice to see a decent crowd without the students. That was great to see.
Absolutely. We had Woodlawn CRC up in the hospitality suite. Bob Sack brought TAG architectural firm here for a corporate event. So
really cool to see that, right? And it's it's one of those things. I think for us, it's like, okay, hey, here's the league season, boys. Got a taste of it in day one. We got to be better in day two.
Yep. And that starts on Saturday on the road.
Yep. Saturday on the road. Ain't that right, Phoebus? At Adrian.
Adrian, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, my friend. Well, hey, good to talk to you guys. Keep rolling. Phoebus, always good to see you too. All right.
Coach Saul, thanks for joining us. Great win here, 1-0 in MIAA play. Any final thoughts on tonight's matchup from Van Noord Arena here, Jeff Phoebus?
Yeah, I was just going to kind of quick whiz through the post-game stats here, brought to you by Advantage Commercial Real Estate here. As Coach Saul mentioned, the Knights shot under 30% from 3, 9 of 32. And a lot of those were open looks. So if they can knock down another 4 to 5 of those, I think they'll be in real business. Nice to have 5 Knights in double digits in scoring, though. All of the starters. You got Winkle and Scott with 20 apiece, 18 for Jalen Overway, who also had 13 boards, 10 apiece for Parker Schwartz. And Justin McElwain, let's see, Alma was led by Heitzman, who had 25 points, 10 of 20 from the floor, along with 13 boards, so he was a low tonight. And then 15 points for St. Martin, 9 for Sykes, and 7 for Bradley, as well as 7 for Collins. But I would say kind of what I alluded to at coming out of halftime, the defensive effort for the Knights has to be a little bit more acute and focused. I think maybe one of the best defensive efforts they had all year. You saw it was against Wisconsin Oshkosh, who came in nationally ranked with that 3-point shooting attack that they had, and really haven't quite seen that defensive intensity since then. So I think that's going to be a key. And the Knights go to Adrian, which had a double-digit win tonight, and that's always a tough place to play on the road, the Marilot Center. So hopefully the Knights can get focused and get the defensive game going, because defense does travel. You played the game, Jason. You know that's one of those old axioms that rings true.
Exactly, and Coach Saul sees it the same way. One of his post-game keys was to get back to the drawing board defensively with the effort that's there. No more missed assignments, and just the overall focus of that defensive unit when they're out there to kind of get them to play as one. And I know he'll get it done. I know that this team is young and just learning how to play with each other now. As he mentioned, they're getting a taste of conference play, what those minutes look like for each person. So just, trying to find their own and continue this success as we move forward in MIAA play.
Well, tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Applied Innovation, where innovation means more smile for your business. The next Kelvin Sports Network broadcast will be this Saturday, 3 o'clock, Kelvin women's basketball at home. They'll be hosting the Bulldogs of Adrian. Knights trying to get back on the winning track on the women's side on Saturday. That'll be right here from Van Noord Arena at 3. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. Again, a final from Van Noord Arena. Kelvin men's basketball 91 and Alma 78 till Saturday. We say so long.